This next question comes from Facebook, really, where I, being that I've been through this situation, am in a Facebook group. And this term, buying out, I've seen it so many times. What does quote unquote buying out the other spouse's interest in the home entail? How do you do that?
Sure. So when you're distributing the assets and the liabilities of the parties during the divorce, you're going to create what's called an equitable distribution spreadsheet. And that's something that the attorneys do. And in one column, we have all your assets and the values of all the assets. And then below that, we have all your liabilities and the value of all your liabilities. What we'd like to do, as long as there's no inequitable type claims that either of the parties are making, is we want to reach a point of true equity. So if you have $300,000 in equity, net assets, let's call them, that the divorce or the parties have as part of their marriage, we want to split that 150,000 here, 150,000 here. Included in that, though, is the buyout of certain assets. So if one party has, say, in their name, even though it's marital, again, it can an asset titled to someone's sole name can still be considered a marital asset. So if somebody has $300,000 in a savings account and then they have a $300,000 house, the other party they have a marital home that's worth $300,000. In theory, the other party is entitled to $150,000 of that $300,000 house. But at the same time, the other party is entitled to $150,000 of the $300,000 savings account. So in essence, what we do is we write that one party is taking 100% of the savings account and the other party is taking 100% of the home, and that's how the buyout is happening. So there has to be adequate assets to actually make the buyout happen. Another way of conducting the buyout, of course, is through the refinance. Say there's $80,000 in equity in the home, so the husband or the wife that's leaving the home is entitled to $40,000 of equity. Well, the other party can refi the home and get into that equity that they have, as long as they qualify, of course, and use that equity to buy out the other party's position in the home.
So whenever you refinance, there are other costs associated with the process. For example, you have to go through closing costs that you would pay to the lender and the title company. Are those, the party refinancing is paying those costs? Is that taken into consideration towards what they have agreed to give to the other party, or is that just part of the
It's 100%
process?
negotiable.
Okay.
Traditionally, though, the party that's fighting and wanting to stay in the home is going to be willing to eat those costs just because they're not going to put them on the other party because it's going to hurt their position.
And do you take, say one party's leaving and all they really want are their personal items like clothes and things. Do you attach a value to the furniture, the things in the kitchen, the pots and pans? Does that all also have a value if they want to fight it?
Of course. Of course, yeah. I mean, you can get down and dirty, and put a value to everything in every inch of that house that you can consider marital, and it take a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, but people do it. It's not advisable. Traditionally, I'm going to tell clients to only put a value to their furniture and their larger items, because realistically, almost anything in your house, you're using fair market value, which is essentially garage sale value.
Right.
You sell these things for nothing. So realistically, it's typically not worth your time that you're going to spend on it. So keep it to the big picture items.
So if the parties are not contentious, could you write into a divorce agreement, all contents of XYZ property go to this spouse and just call it a day without itemizing an entire list of everything?
Yeah, traditionally we're going to say any personal property and or furniture that is currently in their possession is going to remain with them.
Okay.
Because typically when we're at the point of the marital settlement agreement, the parties have already separated.
Okay.